gonna have to be done with it.
I put on mascara.
Oh, you're amazing. Okay, I think I'm the only one on right now, but I wanted to go on ahead and hit record. So, so that way those of you who are joining us later will have something to watch besides, you know, all this. So I do have couple of ladies here. I can't share them with you unless I go like this. Say hi. Did I get the rest of you? Did I get all the way around?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if that's not making you dizzy, ignore the dog if you hear him barking. He's going to stay outside because I'm a horrible pet owner. Okay, so tonight's whole meeting is all about learning about what the Director Bound program is and deciding if it's something that you want to go for. So, so the Director Bound program is a 90-day program, so it's not like you're committing for the rest of your life. You would be saying, okay, I'm going to take the next 90 days, I'm going to hunker down. I know we've heard that saying a lot with this hurricane coming through. We're going to hunker down and put some steps into place to see if directorship is something that you want to do. So at the end of this 90 days, our goal, of course, would be to have all of you promote to director and making some extra money and having a little bit more fun. But if at the end of this, you end up with a stronger show schedule, you end up with more self-confidence, and you don't have the title yet, we're not going to kick you to the curb. You know, it's a learning process, and it might take doing the class twice before you're like, I got it, and it all clicks, because it is a ton of information. So I wanted to have this meeting to tell you a little bit about the program, a little bit about the requirements and expectations that if your pen doesn't work, I'm sorry, they're brand new. Scratch them on your neighbor.
Yeah.
Don't scratch them on your neighbor. Okay, so we're dancing. We are family. Must be her daughter. Okay, so so I first want to have you guys introduce yourself and then tell me why you decided to join us today for learning more about this. And we'll start with Michelle, since she's not even a consultant yet. I might as well put her on the spot.
Cool. Yeah, well, I want to be a consultant soon. We already set my launch party date. I'm really excited. I'm getting the ultimate kick.
Awesome.
It's a lot of things. And I'm joining Pampered Chef because I want to support my income. And we have a dream of owning a home, so we're trying to save up some.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
and to also be more social.
There you go. Pampered Chef will definitely do that for you. All right, Liz, can you see yourself on here?
I can.
Say hi.
Point it down just a little bit.
Point it down.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi. I'm Liz. I'm here because part of my thing is my year of yes, and I'm just saying yes to every opportunity that comes my way.
Nice.
And similar to Michelle, I'm trying to get out and make more friends and be more social.
Okay.
I have a full-time job that pays my bills very well, which is great. But we also want to get a house, and I've got some need for some extra income. So
Okay.
it's been a good opportunity so far.
Perfect. And I know Kathy is here, so I can thank her butt. Really, we already had this talk. Okay, so Kathy, now that you walked in and you missed their why, introduce yourself to everyone on this, no one else but us, but on the recording they will see you, and tell us why you decided to come tonight to learn more about Director Bound.
Because Christina is the best ever.
I told him it was because I was going to spank your butt.
Because Christina has nagged me for God knows how long just to be a consultant,
Let alone do anything else.
do anything else. So.
And just so you know, Christina is not a nag. Christina encourages with love. Okay, so so I want to set the stage for you and kind of show you. Thank you. This is a Christina recipe, not a Pampered Chef one. So normally I do it with, no, the zucchini linguine part is when they came out with the.
Yeah, they have the zucchini linguine.
They do, but before they did that, I was doing this recipe at my shows with pasta. Sorry, we're talking food because we eat. Okay, so so I have these guys for you to look at, and then if you decide that you want to stick with me for 90 days, you can keep it. I also have one of these for each of you because this is already split down the middle for what I'm going to teach you how to do your contacts. You can change colors out if you want. Okay, so what I just gave the girls here is this little guide. Now, you can always take this. All of these files are available digitally on Consultants Corner. So, Michelle, once you have an agreement, I can show you where to find this all electronically if you like to go paperless. So what this is going to go through, this whole first section is what we're going to be going over tonight. So before you get to that tab where it says kickoff call, this is all the stuff we're going to be reviewing tonight. And then we're going to jump briefly into the kickoff call stuff just so I can show you how to track your contacts in that Steno pad, because it's already split to keep track of old business and new business. So, so this is what I handed to all of them. And again, this is available all on Consultants Corner. So, so for those, I'm going to ask this question. How many of you are getting what you want from your Pampered Chef business? She hasn't started yet. She can't answer.
I just started, so I can't.
So she hasn't seen any financial perks yet. Okay, Kathy, are you wanting to make more than $100 a month?
I want to make more, but I have to say at least I've gotten a lot more cool kitchen gadgets.
Yeah, kitchen
I
gadgets.
have more stuff down that I can use, and I've actually done more cooking than I had since my kids got grown and married and left
Nice.
the house. So I'm actually trying to make an effort to do more cooking now that I have the proper tools to do it with.
See, that's always good. So nice keywords there. And I'm not sure how this is coming through on the recording, so we're hoping that we're all speaking loud enough since all you see is me. And it says we are still recording, so here we go. Okay, so what about you, Liz? Are you getting what you want right now from your business, or are you looking for a little bit more?
I guess I am. It's kind of both. I'm getting what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting as much as I'm currently putting in. So I
Okay.
know the level of effort that I'm putting in.
And what that's rewarding you with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'd like to make more, and I know that that means that I just have to step it up myself.
Step it up a little bit, yeah.
And so, you know, maybe this is like the kick
That you might need, kick in the pants. We can do that. Okay, so so this whole program is all about giving yourself, I can't find the meeting ID for the login on Zoom. Hold on. I don't know who to tag. I'm coming. Jake, you're staying outside yelling at me.
Okay.
I'll tag you on Facebook. Okay, so this whole program is about teaching you how to give yourself that promotion and being able to make a little bit more when you become a director. Oh, Pauline. All right, let me get in here to this call and tell Pauline. Where did I do it? Zoom. Sorry. I'm not good at multitasking. Well, I think I put it under the event page. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this book. Pauline. Where did I post it? Didn't I post it on the Zoom call? Anyone remember where I posted this thing at? Nope. Let me go to Team Fireball. If you get there before me, tag Pauline. If you start typing her name, she should be able to come up. I'm gonna search for Zoom. Sorry, all of you watching the replay. All right, let me tag. It was the money picture.
Oh, found it?
Yep,
Okay.
I'm tagging her now. Done. All right, let's see if she joins us. Okay, just tagged you. Okay. Alrighty, so so of course I wanted to welcome you. And Bobby Lynn would have been here, but she double booked herself and she's doing a grand opening party for Christina. So good luck tonight, Christina. Hope your party's a great success. Love your name. Christina. Okay, so all right, so that's that. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this book here, and on page 1, it's going to show you some of the perks here of promoting to director. So who would like to read off some of those for me? Kathy, oh, thank you for volunteering.
I can do that. I have a big Irish mouth.
No.
You?
Get ahead by helping others succeed. Build a strong team with each new consultant. Earn a $10 activity bonus for each active consultant, senior consultant, and team leader every month.
Yes. So that means that when you have a consultant who submits at least $150 in sales and you're a director, you get an extra $10 from Pampered Chef. So like Bobby, Lynn, and I, we've talked about this, and we usually typically turn that money back around and stuff for you guys. It's not like we're just like, ooh, free money. You can totally take that and keep it as your own free money. That's fine. But we typically turn it around and we plan activities, and it covers printing and any of the materials and goodies that we get for giveaways. So we're not paying out of pocket for that. Pampered Chef is basically covering any of that for us by giving us that extra bonus. You want to read the next one for me, Liz?
Can I clarify?
Sure.
That's also on top of like the
Yeah,
commission bonus that you
Yes.
also get. Okay.
absolutely.
All right. All right. So the second one here says more money. You can earn increased monthly overrides. All of these seem to have asterisks after them. which I
Because
assume-
yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yep.
Enjoy 250 Pampered Chef dollars upon promotion,
Yes.
and then receive $100 professional development awarded annually.
Okay, so I'll break that down. So what that is your increased monthly overrides. We were just talking about that. That is, so when you're a director, you automatically get an extra 3% on anything you sell. Plus now you get a bonus extra 3% on what your team sells. So on top of that, you're also getting your $10 activity bonus. And every year you're able to take additional professional development classes, and Pampered Chef has a bunch of great courses you can take as well that's offered by a third party that they will do a reimbursement for you. So you'd pay out of pocket and then they'll reimburse it up to $100. So if you find this amazing speaker and you want to go to a seminar and it costs $75, you pay for it, you send in your receipts, Pampered Chef reimburses you. And you can do that every year to be able to work on your professional development. And of course, when you promote to director, you get $250 in Pampered Chef money. So for Michelle, she's brand new and she's going to be signing her agreement this week. Woo-hoo! But yay! So the fun that happens there is in your first 90 days, you're already earning additional free Pampered Chef dollars. And what that is that's considered like gift card money. It's not money that's going anywhere else. You're still getting your commission, and your paycheck is separate from the free money that you're earning on top of it. So they have different goals for brand new consultants. So in your first 30 days, 60 days, and 90 days. So like this month, it's the entertaining set. You can earn that for free. And the way you earn that is when you submit at least the 1,250, 1,250 in like your first 38 days. Most consultants do that in 2 to 3 shows. So that's why I'll usually say, okay, try to do at least 3 or 4 shows in your first 6 weeks. That's going to hit you at that goal and get you off to a great start. Not only are you going to get that entertaining set of products, you're also going to get an extra 100 Pampered Chef dollars. For each 1,250 you hit in your first 90 days, you're going to end up with another 100 Pampered Chef dollars. For each team member that you add in your first 90 days, you get another extra 100 Pampered Chef dollars. When they hit their goal of selling 1,250, you get an extra 30 Pampered Chef dollars because you've added them. So it really does give you an opportunity to not only build your commission, but to build your free money. Just not to toot horns, but in my first 90 days, I earned 860 Pampered Chef dollars, and it lasted me almost 2 years of buying catalogs and whatever I needed, calendars, spices, anything that I could get on supply order on discount or samples, I would pay for it and I didn't have to use my own money. So definitely something to think about there. So when you hit director, they're going to put $250 in that bank for you to spend. You can spend it immediately. You can let it last a year. Same thing when you hit like an excellence award. If you decide that, okay, that's the next goal I want to go for, when you hit an excellence award, they give you 500 Pampered Chef dollars when you hit it. So that's kind of cool. And then of course, the last one here, more rewards.
All right. Start each season with free product samples. Earn incentive trips with reduced points. Savor special recognition when you promote. Enjoy additional training opportunities.
Absolutely. So as directors, we get invited to separate training. When we go to conference, there are some classes that only directors and above can take where it's more specialized training. You get a lot of one-on-one with uppers, which is kind of fun because you're like, ooh, what are you doing? I want to rub elbows with you because you're amazing and you're in the catalog and I can talk to you, and you don't feel it. Like, oh my gosh, I can talk to you. Hey, Pauline, you're on. Can you hear me?
Hear you.
I'm recording this too, so you'll be able to catch up on the beginning. All we're doing is we're going through, and I emailed this to you, but this is in that first, the participant workbook. That's what we're going through. So it's in that, I zipped a file to you. So you'll have that. So right now we're just talking about what you get when you promote to director with all your perks, which I know you probably know them because we've been over it. Okay, so now because we do have a brand new person in the room, I'm going to briefly touch on this fast track. And so this is a way that you can actually increase your paycheck right from the gate. So this is why it's a good thing that you're coming here to kind of check it out and to see if you want to do this, because you can promote to director. And this program that we're doing is 90 days to director anyways. So if and when you promote in your first 90 days, you're already going to get an extra $1,000 from Pampered Chef for doing that, on top of your commission, on top of your extra Pampered Chef dollars. So the fast track program works very, very well. You get $500 when you promote to director in your first 90 days. So that'll take us, if you're signing up on Friday, it'll be like middle of January, right? October, November, December. Oh no, it'll be middle of December.
Okay.
So 3 months, usually like probably the week of Christmas is when your 90th day will be. So really you want, in order for you to get that promotion, if you want this extra, you have to promote by November 1st. I have to look at when you sign, but I think even though your 90th day wouldn't be, no, her 90th day would be January. So you
I
have,
was just thinking,
yeah,
it's gonna be January.
October, November, December, January. Yeah, it'll be January. So, so for you, we'd have to get you to promote on or before January 1 to get your promotion.
No, it'll be January,
No, she'd have to promote the first, if she goes
First,
past her
even-
90th.
even though she's
Yeah.
signing on the
Yeah,
14th.
because it would have to be, the promotions happen the first of the month. So she'd have to have everything in December to promote January 1,
okay.
which is very doable. Okay, so then when you do that, you would get $500 when you promote to director in your first 90 days. When you maintain director status, and we'll talk about what that is over the next 3 months from that point, you get an extra $500 from Pampered Chef. That's an extra $1,000 in your first 6 months. The next step from there is when you promote to director within your first 6 advanced director, which is now that you've built a team, someone on your team decides, ooh, I think I want to be a director also, and they promote, now you've bumped up another level, and then you get an extra $1,000. This has been done multiple times. Pampered Chef is great at rewarding us, and when you work hard and you put it into practice, you can do that. And fast track directors get a really cool sash to wear at conference to walk across stage. They get like amazing wahoos and all that stuff. So that's a little bit about the fast track program. And now I want you guys to turn to this page here. It's going to tell you about, and it's I put it in this presentation book, so you might be cutting off some of the words, but you're welcome to take this out and put it in a binder later if you want. I just divided it up so it would be pretty to give to you. You can take it and do whatever you want with it. Okay, so I know you guys are wondering how the money works. So I want you to look over this because everyone wants to know, show me the money, right? So, so for our career plan, of course, everyone starts every month and with making 20% commission. If you sold at least $15,000 in over the life of your career. Boys, sorry, I have loud children. You need to go to another room if you're going to be talking that loud, please. There they go. Okay, so so everyone starts at 20%, and then once you've hit 15,000 in career sales, you automatically get a 2% pay raise. But every single time that you add to your team, you're giving yourself an additional pay raise. So, and of course, the more you sell in a month, the more you're going to make in a month. So, and Pampered Chef breaks all that down for us too. But over here, it's going to break it down. So as a senior consultant, that's when you've added 1 team member. So Kathy and Liz have both added 1 team member, and don't cry about Alex. There are more coming. Alex is leaving us to go do LuLaRoe. So Kathy's a little sad. But when you add at least 1 team member and you both submit sales in the same month, you get a promotion to senior consultant. And as a senior consultant, you get an extra 1% off of anything you sell, and you get a bonus 1% off of what your team sells. And you'll see here where as a senior consultant, you make 6.3% more than a consultant does. So you get a little bit of a 6% pay raise right there in that 1 month when you add 1 team member. The next step from senior consultant is team leader, and this is when you've added 2 team members. And basically what happens here is you double the override of a senior consultant, plus you have additional earnings on your recruits too. So now when you're a team leader, you get an extra nice bonus where you're going to get 30% discount on anything you personally buy. As a consultant or senior consultant, it's only 20%. At the team leader level, now you save 30% on anything you want to buy personally. Plus, you're going to start working on those developing leader skills, but now you're making an extra 2% on what you're selling, plus an extra 2% off of your team. So if you look at here, it gives you your commission plus your overrides. That's your team. You'll see that right here now you're making 14.5% more as a team leader than you did as a consultant. So, and did you know that we have leaders in our company who earn as much as 33% of everything they sell each month? You can too. Okay, so this is where it gets really fun, because when you promote the director, you get, usually ends up about 35% more commission than a team leader makes as a director. But the fun is that now as a director, you're making 118% more than a consultant does. So if you're looking at your paycheck and going, okay, I'm making $200, if I become a director, that would be $1,200, you know, round, because I can't do math in my head. But it gives you a breakdown here of this director. So this director, Jen, she did 2,400 in sales. And if you notice her track, that she's been consistent. She's done 2,400 each month. So she didn't really increase her sales at all. And we're not looking for you guys to do 2,400 in sales. So don't think, oh my gosh, that's so much. You'll get there and then you'll be like, oh, that was so easy. But you'll notice here, the only thing that's changing is she's saying, okay, I'm having so much fun. Come do this with me. I'm having so much fun. Come do this with me. And now as her team is going, if she would have been doing just her own sales, here she would be making $797 if you look at that first formula, because she's a director now, so she gets her commission plus her 3% bonus. Now she's got 5 active team members. She gets an extra $50 bonus. Down here, this extra bonus, oh, I lied. So Jen hopes 20, yeah, okay. So the first one is 35% more. Then that's withholding 1 party a week. So you can do this entire program with 1 show a week and still become a director. I've heard it for years, and Nancy Jo Ryan is our national executive director. She's amazing. She said she started her business on the principle of 2 shows a week, no matter what. If you do 2 shows a week, you'll earn every single thing with Pampered Chef. You'll earn every single incentive. You'll earn every free thing from the company. You'll earn every trip. Anything you could think of, 2 shows a week, no matter what, that'll be there for you. Now, because we're so digitally savvy now, that doesn't have to be 2 live cooking shows. It could be 2 virtual parties. It could be a cooking show and a virtual party. It could be a catalog and a virtual party. It could be a catalog show and a live cooking show. It could be any variety to get your 2 shows a week. So when you're looking at this and you're scheduling and you're going, I don't want to leave my house twice to go cook for somebody else. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Know that you can do that also with the virtual parties. And with 1 show a week, she's making $797, which is 35% more than a consultant. And when she's doing 2 parties a week, now she's making $1,800 a month. So when you're looking at numbers and you know what your number is that you want to make, I always say start there and we can work backwards. If you know you want to make $1,500 extra a month just to go to savings or pay off debt or save towards the house, we can break that down. Okay, what's your show average now? If you don't have a show average, here's company average. Here's how we can get to that number for you. So that's what we're here to do. And of course, the further up the track you go, the more you're going to make. So it's going to show you here what you get as an advanced or a senior director. And Bobby Lynn and I, our goal is to become a senior director team. So this is where we're working towards, is that senior director level. And I love how once you get to this point, it gives you what the minimum, maximum, and average is for this position. So if you're looking to replace a full-time income and you go, okay, I make $40,000 net a year now at my job. In order for me to replace that income, I could really ramp it up, be a senior director, and make that and more in that time. And then the fun thing is that unlike your traditional 9-to-5 job, there's no cap at Pampered Chef. There's no one telling you you can't work this many hours, you can't make this much money. Then you said, okay, step it up a little bit more. Now you're doubling your income and you're going, now that's life-changing money. So it keeps going and tells you a little bit about all the different levels there. But so of course, the bigger your team gets as a director, the more money that you're going to make. So the fun thing is that this is all about, it's all about like, what can Pampered Chef do for you? What do you want it to be? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself with this company? Could you see yourself being on the leadership track and going, okay, I've got this. I can do this. That's, and what we're here to teach you during this 90-day program is the steps, the successful steps of how to get there. So if you follow the steps, if you do the homework, yes, there's going to be homework. after every call. This is the only class we're doing live. Everything else is going to be on Zoom. So you can do this in the comfort of your home. And I will give you the schedule so you guys can jot it down. We're going to do our calls on Sunday nights. That seems to be an easy night where people are usually winding down, getting ready for work the next day. So it's usually an evening that's not as terrible. And of course, everything will be recorded and we will be posting videos as well. So, so I want to give you an example here. Imagine that today you're the director of a team with an average monthly sales of 10,000. I will just let you guys know that our team did more than that last month. So, so if your team just did 10,000, what would your 3% monthly override be? 3% of 10,000. Come on, Pauline.
3,000?
No, it's 300. 300. Yeah, I'll take 3,000. That's fine. No, it's 300. So, and remember, that's only the override income. So that's your whole team is selling 10,000. You're making an additional $300 of just your overrides. So now imagine that you begin working with those on your team who want more. Those who want to promote to director, your consultants who want more begin to add team members. And so your team's growing a little bit more. So that sounds good, right? So now you're going to be doing, so here's a question for you. While your consultants are recruiting and adding team members, what should you be doing?
Same.
The same thing. Yes, you should be recruiting and adding team members because you all, we're building and dreaming and doing all this together. And so you want to be doing it right alongside with them. So when you're recruiting side by side with your team, you're matching their efforts. So you're wanting them to succeed. You're wanting to show them. So the whole lead by example, not the do as I say, not as I do. We want to lead by example and say, here's what we're doing. Okay, so now you're doing side by side with them. And so your personal team is growing as their teams are growing. And so now your future leader has 5 consultants on their team who are selling, and now they've done at least 5,000 as a team. So they promote to a director level team. So let's say that Liz is like, light bulb goes off and she's like, all right, I got this, I'm doing it. So I always say you can become a director in a month or 6 years. It's whatever you want. When you put your mind to it and you go, okay, I'm doing it. It's like, the analogy of when you decide that you want to lose weight, right? We all say, oh, we should lose weight. I need to lose like 20 pounds. I need to lose weight. But until you make the decision that I'm going to lose weight, you don't start changing your eating habits. You don't start going to the gym until you've made the decision here that you're doing it. Once you've gotten to the point where you're like, I'm doing it. That's it. I'm doing it. Now you've made the decision here and that becomes your new reality. So it might hurt the first week because you're like, oh, I'm getting up early. I'm going to the gym. I hate all this healthy food. Like you've trashed or you've eaten all the junk food to get it out of the way so you can start fresh. So now the first week is brutal. And you're like, I don't want to do this. And then after that, it slowly becomes the new norm. And that's the same thing when you're looking at once you make the decision that, okay, I want this, that it's all the decisions made here, and then you'll get there.
So where's the cake?
In there, because I made it yesterday and half of it. I didn't say I was on a diet. That was for the Bahamas. We're back. I've gained 11 pounds. It's all good. Okay, so now your future leader, they promote to their own director level team, so that's awesome. So now your team's been building and growing alongside of them, and your personal team is still selling 10,000. Well, now your new team member and her new title is selling 5,000, so now you've just increased to 15,000 in team sales. So now, because your organization is at 15,000, you're not making 3% overrides now, you're making 4%. Because of where the level is. So now that's an extra $600. So you just doubled your overrides by adding team members, and they're adding and you're doing it all together and building this great big team. So so think about that. It's not just about one new director or 2 or 3 or how, it's not going to hurt Liz if Kathy promotes a director before her. It's going to help the whole team. It's going to encourage Liz to go, oh, Kathy did it. I can totally do this. When Pauline promotes and we have our big celebration, it's like, okay, Pauline can do it. I've got this. And it's like, so that's what we're here for. This whole program is designed to encourage and motivate and kind of keep you guys on track with love, with little pushing, a little stern, like, no, you know what you should be doing. So that's what, painting the picture there of just the money that it can bring for your family. I have a girl who I've been trying to add to my team for 2 years. She works part-time in retail. And I finally told her, listen, Jessie, you will make more at one show than you do in an entire week working at Kohl's.
Totally.
And she goes, are you serious? So it's taken me 2 years to get her to realize, so now I keep sending her my paychecks. So that way she'll realize you can make money. This isn't just fun. She sells my products more than I do. She's been to like 4 of my shows in September. She's crazy. Anyway, so she needs to be here. And she'd be great. She says she thinks she has a fear of success. I'm like, it's a terrible fear. Just join me. You'll be amazing. Get over it. You'll be fine. Okay. So, now I've shown you why director would be a great choice. So of course, I know you guys are wanting to save for a house and save for different things. What would a promotion to director do for your family? What do you think it would do?
We're going to go on a really cool trip.
Yeah.
Like the Bahamas.
You totally can. Let me tell you, the trips are probably one of the easiest things to earn, but it's all about consistency in your business. When you are consistent with your shows, you will, 2 shows a week, you will earn every single thing. I will tell you that I have earned this, 2 days ago, I officially earned the 2nd level trip, and we have until the end of December. So it's kind of cool. I know I'm already going to Mexico. And yeah, so it's something that when you're consistent with your business and you track it, and we're going to teach you how to track, because when you track your goals, that's when you see it visually. And I'm a visual learner, so I have to see it. I have to keep it in front of me. I have to go, yes, I'm doing this. I color in my stars when I hit my goals. And that's what I do. So, so when you're tracking it, that's what you want to be able to go, okay, I can take that trip because look, honey, we're already halfway there and we're not even halfway through the year. How cool is that? And the other thing about earning those trips is I earn the trips about 30-70. So 30% is new team members, 70% is my personal sales. The first trip I earned, it was like 60-40, 60 new team members, 40% was my sales, because I didn't know what I was doing, but everyone kept joining my team and I was like, this is fun. Let's keep doing this. Went on that first trip on accident, didn't even know I was earning it until my director calls me and she goes, oh my gosh, you just earned Nashville. And I go, what's that? Besides the city. So yeah, if you love what you do and you're excited about teaching other people, it becomes where people go, I want to do that. You can just do this online. I want to do that. You're doing cooking parties for fun. I want to do that. And then it becomes where you're not forcing or telling anyone, oh my gosh, do this with me. They're going, I want to do this. What are you doing? And they start asking you. So that's what you want it to end up doing. So what does it take to become a director? I know we've talked about this. It's 5 active consultants on your personal team plus you. So you've got you plus 5. And the reason why we say active consultants and the reason why we're using this formula for 90 days is because, like Kathy knows, you'll have consultants who will join you and then they won't do anything. And then they'll get discouraged and then they'll leave and then they'll maybe have a party. So when you're doing it quickly, you're building quickly, your team is active at the same time, and those are all the magic that we need to happen for you to promote. You need to all be active at the same time. So it's 5 active consultants, and an active consultant is someone who's submitted at least $150 in sales that month. And as an entire team of 6, you would need to sell a minimum of 5,000 as a team, with 750 of that coming from you as the person promoting to director. So again, keep that in mind that that is minimums. And as leaders, we never work to minimums. And as you build your personal business, you're going to be doing more than 750 in sales anyways. Kathy hit 750 last month and earned her stuff. Woo! So the more you do that, and it's like, okay, now you've done 2 months in a row. Now you can do a $1,500 a month because you've just done it twice. And now you can go to a $2,500 a month because now you've shown that you can do it. And when you're consistent with your business, that's what you'll do. So, less thought to live by: leaders never work to minimums. In order to have success in the business and be a leader others will follow, you should be the one setting the pace for your team. I never expect my team to beat me in sales, but you're totally welcome to. I won't mind. I am one of those people where if someone sets a carrot and goes, hey, if you can do this, I'm like, I can do that. So my director has always said anytime anyone beats her in sales, it's like a big deal because it doesn't happen. And I'm like, all right, that's my goal. I'm beating you in sales. And in 5 years, I've beaten her twice. And that's it. and then last month I kicked all their butts and I was like, yay! Now this month's not gonna happen, but it's all good. I did it last month. I know it can happen. So that's my new goal. Every month is to beat everyone else in sales so I can go, I beat you. Because it's just a little bit of bragging. It's all good. Okay, so that is, and then of course the rule of thumb. Doris Christopher said this and lives by this as well as Nancy Ryan, 2 parties a week, no matter what. So this little tracker here, this is our 90 days to success, and I'm going to go over this briefly with you to show you how this works. And we're going to be doing calls to help you with each of these steps. So when you look at this little 90 days to director formula, you'll see along the right-hand side there's a skill in red. You see that column? Okay, so those are the skills. These are the 6 calls that we are going to be doing over the course of these 90 days. So if it's a skill here that you don't know yet, know that you're going to learn it. So if maybe you're not so strong with host coaching, we're going to go over how to be a strong person to host coach and get your host really working for you and being a team. If maybe you've never asked or informed anyone about how to do this Pampered Chef thing because you don't know what to say, we're going to teach you how to do that. So this recipe for success follows like this. Again, if we're doing 2 shows a week, that gives us our 8 parties a month. And don't think, oh my gosh, I can't do this because I don't have 8 shows on my schedule. We're going to build up to that. So you're going to have some time to get on the phone and make some. You've probably noticed Bobby Lum's been posting those great booking tips on the page. You're not on there yet, but you will be. And then you can go back and look at all of them. So she's been posting all of these booking ideas because we want to get you guys into the mindset of here's what to say to book shows. Here's how to book shows. Here's another idea on how to book shows. Here's something else you can do. So that way we're teaching all kinds of different ways. So when you have 8 parties booked, it gives you, plan for cancellation. So about 20% will cancel. So that's 2 parties are going to cancel out of those 8 parties booked. So you're going to have 6 parties held. Okay. So out of those 6 parties held, we want to have at least 10 guests at each show because that's going to help us even with our numbers. You guys have more than that, it's totally fine. If you have a party that has 7 guests and the next party has 12, they all balance. So eventually you're going to be seeing about 60 over the course of the month. So then you would be in front of 60 people in the next 30 days. So for this month, if you have 6 shows that hold, which I think I do, they've been Hurricane Andrew, messed up my schedule. But when you have 6 shows that hold and you're working with your host on having people there, I'll be in front of 60 people. So out of that, you want to divide that number by 3 because this is when you're going to be talking to people about Pampered Chef. Because typically 1/3 of the people that you meet might want more information. They might not do anything with that information, but they might go, I'm curious, I would like to know more. So about 20 of those people might take home information like a little join us brochure or some little pamphlet on Pampered Chef because they want to learn more about it. Out of those 20 people, again, divide it by 1/3, so divide by 3, about 1/3 of those people are going to say yes to having a chat about Pampered Chef. So now Kathy's one of those 20, and I call her the next day and I say, Kathy, it was so nice meeting you last night at Liz's party. So I know you took home some information on Pampered Chef. I'd love to be able to sit down with you or talk to you over the phone and answer any questions. She could say yes or no right there. And then if she says yes, again, only about 1/3 of the people that you send home with information will say yes to talking more about Pampered Chef. Out of that 1/3, again, we're going by 1/3 again. So 7 people now are going to be talking to you, and out of those 7, we're dividing by 1/3, you'll probably have 2 that say, okay, I'm doing this. So if you look at those numbers, so now you have 2 personal recruits that month, okay? Now we're doing by 3 months because that's the length of our program. So now we're looking at, you've got your 6 to promote to director. So this is our formula. So of course the key here is we need to have our parties booked to be in front of enough people, to talk to enough people. And if you're using virtual parties as a way to have your business, making sure that you're still doing your customer care, that you're reaching out to each guest who's placed an order to thank them for their order and to do what we call a full service checkout, which is where you ask each guest every question. You ask each guest about hosting a party. You ask each guest if they were interested in taking any information home about Pampered Chef. You ask each guest if they say no to those. Okay, thank you. Do you know anyone else who might like to do this or this? Can I send you information to share? Because you want to ask for the referral. So that's the formula here, and that doesn't seem too hard, right? It's all numbers, and if you're good at math, you'll love this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to track this. So that's what this sheet here is. This front and back is the next 3 months. So you'll notice it has your 8 party slots there. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this yet because I don't have enough bookings, and you're probably sitting here thinking, I don't have enough bookings. I don't know how to get to the 8. I'm not anywhere there yet. Don't panic and think, I can't do this, because you don't have to have these qualifications yet. I always say Of course, we want to have as many parties booked as possible, but if you know you only have 3 nights a month that you can leave your house, schedule those 3 nights. If you know that you can fill the rest of it with virtual parties or catalog shows, start reaching out to those people who don't live in the area and say, hey, I'm just now starting, I'm starting this new leadership program with Pampered Chef, and I would like for you to be a guinea pig to try one of my new virtual party show styles. And then let them say yes or no, but let's give them the opportunity to say that to you. And then what we're gonna do here is actually track. So, so what we're gonna do is me and you are going, you'll have one of these and I'll have one of these for each of you. So as you have a show, we're gonna do this thing called show-based coaching, where each time you have a show, we're gonna talk and we're gonna fill out this form. So I'm gonna say, so Liz, you had a party with Michelle, how did it go? How many people did you have in attendance?
12.
12, perfect. Okay, so how many people took home information on Pampered Chef?
Only 6.
Half of them? Jeez, okay, only 6.
Damn.
Okay, so how many of those, we're going high over here. All in one show. Here we go, see? Mindset, promote to director in one show, you're good. So out of those 6 that took home information, how many have agreed to talk to you about Pampered Chef a little bit more?
2.
About 2. Okay, perfect. So now out of those 2, so then we go here and we talk to them and then we say, okay, how many of those 2 signed? And you might not have any of them. They might both say, you know what, now's not the right time. Or they both might say, sign me up, let's do it. Or you might have one that says yes and the other one goes, oh, let me wait and talk to my husband, because that happens. And then my question, yeah, and then I always say, so what would your husband tell you?
First off, you show them stuff in the kit.
And then of course, I'll ask you how many bookings from that show, because then and always your host is a great person to ask about joining your team. So if you haven't started asking your hosts yet, start planting that seed when you're doing your host coaching. Oh my gosh, look at how many people you already have coming. You are making my job so easy. Oh my gosh, look at all of these RSVPs. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? Oh my gosh, you already have $300 in orders and I haven't even shown up at your door yet. You would make an amazing consultant. When you're planting those seeds, just little snips. I did that with my host for Saturday. She and her mom are co-hosting. She's a teacher, so is her mom, and they have 14 people coming. And I'm talking to the daughter and I go, Lanisha, you guys have done such a great job getting all of these people here. Have you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef? You know, I'd love to have you. You'd be so great at this. And she goes, you know, I was thinking about it. And her party's on Saturday. She's signing up on Friday. And then Saturday is going to be her show. But it was because I mentioned it to her there after I was complimenting her on what an amazing job she was doing getting people there. So we want to work through this. So, so once you guys decide that, yes, you can, I'm doing this, this will be yours, you can write all over it, do whatever you want with it. So it's gonna help you track your month, because a lot of times what happens is you don't see the results right away. It's like when you're going back to that weight loss analogy. You started eating healthy, you started going to the gym, it's been a week, you step on the scale, yeah, you've lost a few pounds, but you haven't noticed a difference yet. It might take you 3 weeks, 4 weeks before you go out in public and someone goes, oh my gosh, you've lost a ton of weight. And you're thinking, I have, and someone else noticed. So, so just know that it's going to get there, and that that it is going to be the repetition, and you do have to put in the work to be able to see the payoff. So when you're tracking it, numbers don't lie. So that's the thing you want to keep track of, is because numbers don't lie, you want to be able to say, okay, if I only had 6 people at the show and only 1 person took home information and that 1 person did not want to chat with me, okay, I know I need to be seeing more than 6 people at a show. If at the next show I have 12 people there and 3 people take home information and 1 of those 3 signs, I know that my numbers are 1 in 10. Out of every 10 people I meet, 1, boys, sorry Zoom people. Out of every 10 people I see, 1 person will join my team. I know my stats. I live by numbers, so I know that about every 1 in 12 that I meet will join my team. About every 3 in 15 will book a party, because that's how I do my numbers. So of course you want to get that to where you're signing more people. And then I have a lot of fence sitters, and that happens too, where someone will say, oh my gosh, I could never do what you do. And then that's really them saying, I want to know more, but I don't think I can do this. And so those are, we'll get into some of those a little bit later. So this little chart here, this is our belief triangle. And we're going to go over this a little bit. Okay, oh, sorry, I should go back to your show-based. Once we're doing this guide together, And we're going to be tracking. So you're going to be tracking yourself and I'm going to be tracking you. This is where that lovely accountability comes in. So if there comes a week where you don't have a show, don't think you don't get away from talking to me, because remember, I'm going to be talking to you after every party, so I should be talking to you at least twice a week. If you have a month or a week where you don't have any shows, we're going to make a plan to talk early in the week so that that week you can focus on making calls, reaching out to people to get bookings on your calendar. So that would be our goal, because again, our goal for during this program, during this 90 days, is to stick with me like glue and put in the work to see the payoff. So 2 parties a week, no matter what. And if you have a week with no parties, then we'll, just kidding. No, then we'll just do a lovely chat on how to book parties, and we'll do some brainstorming for who we can talk to that you haven't already addressed yet. So that's what that's there for. And of course, we offer additional support. We have our monthly team meetings where we'll give big hurrahs and we'll be able to tell everyone else how you're doing during this Director Bound program. We do have recipe nights. Recipe nights are a great way for you to invite someone else where it's a little less threatening. So, you know, our first Monday is always our very big team focus. We do all of our big recognition. If you have someone that you think would be good at Pampered Chef that loves an ad girl, you did awesome. Bring them to the first meeting of the month, because that's when they will see all that recognition. And that might be something they're not getting at their day job that they want, that's missing. So they would want that ad girl. Bring them to that one. If you have someone who's maybe a little scared, bring them to a recipe night. It's more fun. It's more laid back. It's not as Pampered Chef. It's hey, we're going to cook something together and we might have a little fun activity. Next week's recipe night is going to be super fun. It's here. So, and I did tell you to bring something, wear something you can get dirty.
Yes, I can remind you.
Yeah, I'll remind you. I have aprons here too, so we can always wear an apron so you don't dirty your clothes. But one of those, like, if
Just bring our own aprons.
you could. So, so yeah, so the first, always of course invite them to a meeting, because sometimes they might need to have that encouragement from someone else to say, oh my gosh, you do, and then sometimes they want to meet the faces of people that are going to be training them and go, I don't like those people, or oh my gosh, that's my group, I could totally fit in there. And that's kind of where it is. So, so now we're going to talk about the power of belief, and that's this belief triangle here. So, and there are pens, so if you wanted to write in this, you can. So now that I've shared all of this, how many of you believe that you could promote to director in 90 days or less? Seem a little tough? Liz is raising her hand.
I'm very hesitant.
Hesitantly raising her hand. And Michelle is hesitantly raising her hand, and Kathy is scorning at me. So it's all good.
I'm not scoring. I'm just like,
She's like, ooh. Okay, so again, this meeting is to tell you about what it takes to get there. Yeah, go get cake. It's in here.
I raised my hand, so I get cake.
You get cake. Yay, we feed with cake.
Anyone?
no, I'm good.
I'm good, thank you.
If you want new plates, they're above the, over here on this side of next to the fridge. And I have 2 fridges. I know that's confusing.
Okay.
Just open them all up, you'll find it.
I probably would.
Yeah, I'm just used to people taking their stuff. Okay, so anyways, all right, so now how many of you are fibbing that you think you could promote? How many of you are lying?
I think I can. I think I have more confidence once I start actually booking like parties.
Booking the parties?
Like, I have
Mhm.
2 potentials that
Right.
I'm trying to seal the deal.
So once you actually have solid dates on the calendar, you'll feel a little bit more confident to go, okay, I can do this.
Well, yeah, once I start to like, okay, I can get 1 per week, which is what I've been
Mhm.
trying to do.
Mhm.
Like,
Because that's always what I say. First 6 weeks, try to do 1 a week, because that's going to
Yeah.
line you up for success. On top of that, you can be saying, okay, who doesn't live here that could do a virtual party? So that way, on one of those weeks where you have a live show, you also have a virtual party, or you have someone who wants to pass some catalogs around. That was made in a 12-inch skillet with 1 cake mix, and it spreads it so beautifully.
Amazing.
I know, right? If you want a lot of cake, 12-inch skillet. Okay, so, okay, the fact that we have the best training and the best directors to help you, to help with your success at Pampered Chef, that's what we're here for, is we're here to help you believe in yourself, because we know you can do this, and the first step for everyone is to believe that you can succeed. So if you believe that you can be, do, and have everything you want in your life, as long as you're willing to work hard enough to achieve it, and that is so true. So you can succeed and follow this plan. It is just honestly filling the box and going, okay, where are my shows? Who can I talk to? Who haven't I talked to? And something that I always mention is Who is someone that I can reach out to who's in the same situation as me? Who is someone who might also be buying a house, might want to be able to pay off some debt, might want to get out from their work at home job that could use some fun?
What about someone who used to be a Pampered Chef
They
consultant?
can come back anytime and join your team. Absolutely.
Okay.
Because once they've been gone 6 months, they don't have to sign up with the original person that signed them. They could sign up on your team. Absolutely. And then come to our trainings and have a ton of fun and know that we're crazy and it's all good. Okay, so belief is such a powerful concept, and when you truly understand how powerful it is, it can change your life. So here's something, I should tell you a story. Remind me, I'm going to tell you a story. So here's something you should all write down. It's something very special I want to share with all of you today, so grab a pen. You guys ready? Write this down. My brain, anywhere you want, it's fine, on your paper, in your book, wherever. You ready? My brain is not as smart as I think it is. I'll say it again. My brain is not as smart as I think it is. And that's right. You want to know why? Because your brain will believe anything you tell it. Isn't that fun? So if you tell it often enough, it's a proven fact. So your brain will believe anything you tell it. So if you tell your brain, we're losing weight. Guess what? Now you told your brain it's happening. You're losing, not as Lizzie's cake, sorry. But you've now made that commitment in your brain, and your brain is believing you that that's what's happening. So I know, I do that all the time. When we don't have the kids with us, we always eat dessert first. Don't tell them. Okay, so here's another wonderful thing about belief. You get to be in control of your belief. You get to decide what you tell yourself every single day. And I'm going to pause to go grab my story as my knee fell asleep. Okay, so I'm going to pause there to tell you this.
I'm probably coming up on my 1 year.
You might be November something.
No, I thought it was this month.
I can look you up.
I think I'm coming up on I think it might have been this.
Okay, so this story is all about the power of belief. Yeah, I know, like frosting.
Sorry.
I told you I ate half of it by myself.
That would explain the 11 pounds.
True story, 11 pounds right there. Okay, so I'm going to read this from the perspective of Jerry's friend. Okay, so this is me, I'm Jerry's friend. Jerry was the kind of guy you love to hate. He was always in a good mood and always had something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he would reply, "If I were any better, I'd be twins." You guys heard this yet? Okay, you've heard this?
Not the whole story. No.
Okay. He was a unique manager because he had several waiters who had followed him around from restaurant to restaurant. The reason the waiters followed Jerry was because of his attitude. He was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Jerry was there telling the employee how to look on the positive side of the situation. Seeing this style really made me curious. So one day I went up to Jerry and asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How do you do it?" Jerry replied, "Each morning I wake up and say to myself, Jerry, you have two choices today. You can choose to be in a good mood or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. Each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim or choose to learn from it. I choose to learn from it. Each time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining or I can point out the positive side of life. I choose to point out the positive side of life." "Yeah, right, it's not that easy," I protested. "Yes, it is," Jerry said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is a choice. You choose how you react to situations. You choose how people will affect your mood. You choose to be in a good mood or a bad mood. The bottom line is, it's your choice how you live life." I reflected on what Jerry said, and soon thereafter I left the restaurant industry to start my own business. We lost touch, but I often thought about him when I made a choice about life instead of reacting to it. Several years later, I heard that Jerry did something you are never supposed to do in a restaurant business. He left the back door open one morning and was held up at gunpoint by 3 armed robbers. While trying to open the safe, his hands, shaking from nervousness, slipped off the combination. The robbers panicked and shot him. Luckily, Jerry was found relatively quickly and rushed to the local trauma center. After 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, Jerry was released from the hospital with fragments of the bullets still in his body. I saw Jerry about 6 months after the accident. When I asked him how he was, he replied, "If I were any better, I'd be twins. Want to see my scars?" I declined to see his wounds, but did ask him what had gone through his mind as the robbery took place. "The first thing that went through my mind was that I should have locked the back door," Jerry replied. Then, as I lay there on the floor, I remembered that I had two choices. I could choose to live, or I could choose to die. I chose to live. "Weren't you scared? Did you lose consciousness?" I asked. Jerry continued, "The paramedics were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine. But when they wheeled me into the emergency room and I saw the expressions on the faces of the doctors and nurses, I got really scared. In their eyes, I read, 'He's a dead man.' I knew I needed to take action." "What did you do?" I asked. "Well, there was a big burly nurse shouting questions at me," said Jerry. "She asked if I was allergic to anything." "Yes," I replied. The doctors and nurses stopped working as they waited for my reply. I took a deep breath and yelled, "Bullets." Over their laughter, I told them, "I'm choosing to live. Operate on me as if I'm alive, not dead." Jerry lived thanks to the skill of his doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude. I learned from him that every day we have the choice to live fully. Attitude, after all, is everything. So that goes back to telling your mind, you tell your mind what you want it to do. If you're going to live, if you're going to die, if you're going to have a positive outlook, if you're going to, it's all up here is where you do that. So that's part of that belief triangle. He believed he has a choice every day on what his outcome's going to be, and he lived by that. So feel free to, I can post that story later if you want. Awesome. The next one I tell you, and not this class, but another one, you'll cry. Just saying. I cry every time I read it. I can't even hardly get through it. Okay.
We'll be at home, we can cry.
You totally can. I'll see you, but you can cry. Okay, so belief is a powerful concept, and I told you that part. So we want to look at this little 8th page here. So you'll see this little triangle. This is our belief triangle, and it's really quite a revealing way of looking at the power of belief and the power of what we tell ourselves every single day. So simply stated, the triangle tells us, and these are these fill in the blanks along the left-hand side, my beliefs determine my actions. My actions determine my results, and my results reinforce my beliefs. And that keeps going around and around in your belief triangle. So that's pretty powerful, right? So who can give me an example of something you might say to yourself in regards to your Pampered Chef business, something that might not be considered entirely positive, but you might believe it to be true? I heard one of you say something earlier. I can't get that many parties, right? That was something. So you have a belief in your mind that you can't get that many parties to be able to set yourself up for success. So what happens then if you believe you can't get that many parties? What are your actions?
Then you won't.
Then you don't make the phone calls. You don't try to get the parties because your belief is that you can't. So you don't put in the work. So then what are your results? You don't have any parties. And so what does that do? It's telling you, I can't get any parties. So let's turn that around. All right, now I believe I can get 8 shows on my schedule. So what actions do you take to get those 8 shows on your schedule? Start making phone calls. You might send text messages, shoot a couple of emails around. So then your actions are going to tell you. So what happens once you start doing that? You're going to start seeing some parties booked, right? So then your actions are going to say, oh my gosh, I've my results now. I've got some parties booked. So then that's telling you, look, I can. It's all in what you believe, and your belief is what's determining the rest of your outcome. So same thing with our friend Jerry here. His belief was that he was going to live and operate on me like I'm alive and I'm not dead, and he did. And because it's his belief that this is, I can choose to do this or not. So, so another example might be, how many of you have ever heard, I'm too busy? I'm too busy to have a party.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then your belief then is now, well, people are too busy to have parties. It's the holidays. They're getting ready to do their own thing.
They're busy. They're doing the other stuff, so they have time.
Yeah, so they have time. But if you have the belief of people are too busy, no one wants to do parties right now, so then that's going to happen where you're going to believe that. You're not going to call them. You're not going to reach out. You're not going to book the parties. It's going to tell you, yeah, people are busy because but you haven't actually put in the time there. So your actions would be that you don't pick up the phone. You're not asking every person at every party, and you don't get bookings, et cetera, et cetera. So, if you have the belief, people want to do parties with me, I have an incredible product to share, great recipes and money-saving tips, and I help bring people to the table. That's Pampered Chef's whole mission. So what would your actions be if that was your belief?
Your shows would be
You'd be,
booked, and
you'd have to be booking like you 3 months in advance.
yeah.
Well, right now I'm struggling for October. Just let's be real. I've had 4 parties cancel this week.
People were busy and had no power.
It was my
Yeah.
husband saying, hurricane. I'm like, oh, we'll be fine. And he's like, you need to cancel. So I canceled all my parties. And now I'm like, it's all good. But now they're not busy and they do have power. And I've checked on them to make sure that they're okay. So now my next step
He
will be,
was looking out for
when
your
do we want to
safety.
rebook it? He was such a good man. Okay. So I want you to, down here at the bottom, and this, of course, if you decide I'm not doing this thing and you give this book back to me, I will not be offended. This is just so that way if you decide, okay, I'm going to stick with Christina like glue, or I'm going to stick to Bobby like glue for 90 days, I'm going to suffer through, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to be okay to have someone hold me accountable to what I say I'm going to be doing, and see where it takes you. Because worst case scenario, you have amazing paychecks the next 3 months because you're putting in the work. Worst case, you're going to have a ton of money and extra products. And best case scenario, you get your outcome. You know, you get to promote the director, you build this team, you start to realize, oh my gosh, that wasn't so bad. And now you've got that, keep going. Okay, so this one here. So if you were to rate your level of belief today on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, what would your, and you can do this one out loud if you don't want to write in your books yet, what would your belief be on the products you sell, Pampered Chef? 10.
Oh, yeah.
10.
Well, but I've been buying them for 30 years.
So definitely a 10 from Kathy.
Yeah.
I've not been buying them for 30 years.
You're barely that old.
Okay, so I would be a 10 on products too. So on a scale of 1 to 10 on hosting, on our host opportunity, where would you be? Where you think our host program is?
Oh, you mean what we give our hosts?
Yeah,
As a company.
as a company.
10.
Okay, Liz?
I'm not as familiar with all the host stuff except for mine.
Except for
It
yours.
varies,
Yeah.
like,
So it
online.
varies based on sales, and I know that Pampered Chef is one of the most generous with our host rewards program as far as in the direct sales industry. We might not be the most rewarding, but we're pretty darn close. So because Pampered Chef's whole thing is we want to reward our hosts for bringing us into their homes and allowing us to introduce them. So our host program, but you could be a 6 and that's fine, because when we start working through host coaching and we start doing more training on that, then you might go, oh my gosh, my hosts have an amazing opportunity, and that belief might go from a 6 to a 9 or to an 8, and then you have a little, and then because your belief in our host program is higher, you're offering it more because you believe in it more. Same thing for our business opportunity. Right now, you might be a 1 or 2 going, I don't know what I'm doing, let alone what you would be doing. So your belief might not be there yet, but if you've seen a little bit of financial income come from it and you've been making a couple $100s, you might go, all right, I'm probably about a 3 or 4, because I'm making a little bit of money and it's not terrible and I haven't lost my lunch on anybody yet. It's okay. And then as you really start seeing your income increase, that's when your belief in the business opportunity becomes a 9 or a 10, because now you're saying, oh my gosh, I quit my full-time job and I'm just doing Pampered Chef and I can be home with my kids. Or did you know that alongside of working a full-time job, you can still make a full-time income only working 1 or 2 nights a week? That's it. And then you start to paint that picture of, you can make significant money. You can put it all in savings. You can have this this nest egg for whatever you want. You can have a good chunk down payment. You can pay off all of your credit card debt. And when you've done that personally with your Pampered Chef, your belief in our business changes your life. And you go, oh my gosh, you need to do this, because did you know that I just paid off like $15,000 in credit card debt and now we don't have to worry about that? I just paid off my husband's student loan. Isn't that so? I mean, can you imagine being able to do that and not having to think and worry about that? So when you start seeing the financial income from it and you start seeing what it's doing for other people, the statistic across the board with the U.S. is that every family is about $300 away from filing bankruptcy every month. $300. And when you think about what Pampered Chef can do, that's 2 parties. You do 2 parties a month, that's $300. And when you think about how you can empower someone else to not only make a good income, but to do it alongside of a job or to do it alongside of being a stay-at-home mom and still contributing to the family income and feeling like you're a part of that now, so that's when all of that's going to change. For our company and our industry, Pampered Chef and the industry and direct sales, I've always loved direct sales because I feel like that's the one place where there's no cap to what you can do. No one's telling you you can't go further. You go, I'm doing this, and you do what you want and you pick it up and go. So of course, then your goal, you should always set a goal to be higher. You're not going to be a 10 in all of these because it's going to take, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some training. It's going to take some learning a little bit more about what we can do for our hosts, what happens for us as consultants, and all of that. But of course, across the board, over the next 90 days, we want your belief in each of these to increase. So if you already have a really strong belief in our products, okay, if you're already a 10 there, that's not something we need to focus on because we have great products. But maybe it's how do I let other people know we have great products without them feeling like I'm pushing it down their throats. And that's where we'll work on how to introduce other people without them feeling like it's a huge mess. All right, so on the back here, this is a commitment form. So what you have is you have time. So we are going to give you the gift of time over the next week to think about everything that we've talked about tonight and to think about if this is something that you want to do. So I do want to tell you, Bobby Lynn and I are both doing a leadership program with Pampered Chef. So we're a little bit used to them holding us accountable and it hurts and it's definitely not easy and it's something that you're going to go, there are days I do not want to do this work. And for us, it's a little bit different because they add on, I think, so much more for us, but you guys don't have all of that. So you're welcome. But what we're going to do is each.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No. See,
Join us.
let me clarify.
No.
Here. So out of the entire company, there are about 55,000 consultants. And out of that 55,000, there's about 1,500, maybe 1,600 that are directors. Out of that 55,000, there's about 200 that are senior directors. There are about 80 that are executive directors. So it does take work, but it is very, very rewarding to get there. And the leadership program that Bobby Lynn and I are doing, it's not something that was open to everyone. It was something that Pampered Chef looked at our numbers and said, we're going to handpick these 100 that are advanced directors or above, and these 100 that are directors or above, and we're going to work closely with them to help them increase and move up the career plan. So it wasn't that I was like, ooh, pick me. They're like, hey, I'm picking you. Do you want to do this? And I'm like, sure. And totally terrifying. So you have the option to say no. So don't feel, and they gave us an option to say no. So once they told us, here's everything we're going to do, here's the requirements of this program. If you stick with us, if you listen to all the conference calls, if you listen to all the small group calls, if you do all the homework, this is the end result. If you don't want all that, you don't have to do this. You can say no right now and know that we're still going to love you and we're still going to help you with whatever we can. But just know that if you do this program, it's going to be tough, but at the end of it, it's going to be worth it. So that's what you need to decide is if you want to stick with us and if you want to try for 90 days to stick to the plan and just give it your best effort. We will be having calls, and I will tell you our call schedule. We will be doing our calls on Sunday nights. So tonight's call meeting was all about explaining what the program has to offer you. And then starting on Sunday, the 16th, if you guys decide I'm jumping in, Sunday night on the 16th, we're going to get together. We haven't decided if we're doing 8 or 8:30 p.m. yet. I think we'll kind of gauge the people who want to join in. All of these calls will be done via Zoom. So you do not have to drive anywhere. You do not have to leave the comfort of your home. You can be in your pajamas. Nobody will know.
That's what you did the last time.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where you're all here. And Paul Ann's here giving thumbs up. So we will all be able to see each other's faces and wave at each other and say, you're doing so good. You can, well, Zoom is an app on your phone. And you can also do it from, there will be a link where you can click right from your computer. And it'll pull it right up. And it'll usually like register you through Facebook, so you don't have to do anything else. It'll just go, okay, here, and it's got your name up.
Or I'll even do it off on that iPad.
You can do it off your iPad. Pollyanne's on her iPad right now because it says Pollyanne's iPad.
Yes, sometimes I'll do it while I'm waiting. but
Okay,
because it's-
so I did want to tell you that on the 16th, Sunday night, we will do a kickoff call. So the little steno notebook that I gave you, I wanted to give you a quick little idea of how this works. So can someone hand me one? Okay, so the way that I want you to keep track of your contacts is, and you can use a regular notebook. I just like this one because it's already divided down the middle, because what they suggest is that you take a spiral notebook and you draw a line down the middle and you keep one side for new business and one side for old business. Now, if you're brand new like Michelle, everything is going to be in the new business, and that's totally fine. You don't have any old business yet. If you've been around for a while like Pollyanna and me, you might have some old business. Who can give me some examples of what old business is?
Previous consultants.
Previous consultants, previous
Yes.
hosts, previous guests, maybe people you met at a vendor event.
Yeah.
Someone who told you that they wanted to host a party and they haven't yet. That's someone that you would put on the old business side. But your goal here is to keep track of what you're doing, because winners keep score. Right? I keep score. So winners keep score. And you want to be able to track your progress. And there is a saying that I say it all the time, and it is so true. What you do today affects your business 90 days from now. Now I want to show you guys my notebook. Mine is not as small as that because I do a bunch of things and I like it all in one home. So this one is mine. And I took a 5-subject notebook. You definitely don't have to go this big. You can keep it small. If you keep it on this steno pad, it can stick in your purse. And it's the perfect size to follow with you. So if you meet someone while you're out and about, you can jot it down. This, I'm usually sitting at my desk and I'm writing stuff. So I have a tab for customer care. So this is all the people that I'm talking to and what my results are. That way I know who I left messages for, who I talked to. If I booked a party, if I need to do any kind of follow-up, I highlight it. That way next time when I go to look at this, I go, oh, did I actually do that? Yep, check it off. I'm good. So this is my system. You can do this all electronically. I know there's a lot of people who use Evernote for all of their notes, and it will tell them to remind them to call someone, and like it'll pop up on your Evernote. Do you know that?
I did
But you
learn
can
that
set a
at
timer.
conference, but I got to figure out how to do it now.
Okay, so if you're using electronic and you use like an Evernote, you can actually set, so if you, and you can scan all of your contacts into that, like your little drawing slips, and then you put a timer on it. And if you left a message and they said call back in 2 months, you can set your little timer to call back in 2 months, and then you'll get a little pop-up on your phone. 2 months later, it's time to call Kathy. So it's kind of neat, but use whatever system works for you. I'm a paper to pen girl, so I kill a lot of trees, and I do not feel bad about it. So it's whatever you want to do. So so that's me. That's how I kind of keep track of where I'm at, but you can do the entire thing on here. And again, so this is going to help you with, and we will be setting a goal for you to contact 15 people a week. So that will be your goal, is 15 contacts a week. And a contact is someone you actually talk to. If you left a message, that does not count. If you sent a text or an email and they do not respond, that does not count. But it is 15 contacts in person, over the phone. Text or email or Facebook is fine, but they have to respond. And if they don't respond, it's not a contact. So keep track of what you said to them, of what they said to you. Maybe you contact someone tomorrow and they say, oh my gosh, my fall's crazy busy. Can you call me in January? You want to put a note, call back in January. That way you remember, because you're still going to need business then. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how to track your contacts on our kickoff call. And then this book goes through all of the calls that we're going to be doing. So the kickoff call is going to be October 16th. We are going to be doing call number 1, which is prospecting and booking away from your parties, on Sunday night, October 30th. We are going to be doing call number 3 on Sunday night, November 13th. Call number 3 is about host coaching.
We're doing call 2.
Oh,
No,
I
that's
lied.
on the
That's
30th.
call 2. Call 2 is on the 30th. No, kickoff call is on 16th. Call 1 is on the 30th. I lied.
Oh.
Call 2. Thank you, Liz. I knew you were going to beat me up. Call 2 is on November 13th. That one is going to be all about how to use these party outline cards to follow along and have a great live show. We're going to walk you through how that whole process goes. You do have copies of all of this already, so you're welcome to read ahead. We won't mind. We just might ask you more questions. And we're going to teach you in call number 2 how to book parties at your shows. So we're going to do 2 phases there. Call 3 is going to be on November 27th. That one is going to be on host coaching. Now that we've booked parties, we want to teach you how to keep them and how to host coach to have a successful show. That's my tab in here. It's falling out. My call 2 tab. It's hiding. Okay, so that was up to call 3 now.
Yeah.
Calls 4 and 5, we are combining. So they are inform and invite. That's where you inform someone about the Pampered Chef business and you invite them to learn more. And call 5 is where you actually go through that opportunity chat with them. So we're combining those because we figured that we want to give you the skills all at once. So it might be a little bit longer call than our normal 45 minutes, which is what all of these will be, 45 minutes. So call 4 and 5 we're combining, and that one will be on December 11th. And then our call 6, we are not skipping a week in between because if we did, we'd end up at Christmas.
I was gonna
So,
say, I ain't know
Call
what
6,
we-
I know, so call 6 we're going to do on December 18th. So, and call 6 is going to be how to coach your new consultants. And because as we're going through this program, you're going to be learning. And so I know that you guys have done a little bit of that that new consultant strong start coaching. That's what I'm teaching. I'll be teaching you guys how to do that with your team members. So don't think, oh my gosh, I have to do that right away. I'm still doing that for your new team members until you're learning how to do that for your new team members. So that, and you and I will be going through it together. It's a series of 4 calls that are 30 minutes each call in your first 2 weeks. And then there's homework. And then, so it's training and it's homework. And that all will tie into this as well. So, so that's a little bit about that. And I do talk fast, so I did good. Bobby Lynn said, how long do you think this will take? I'm like, an hour and a half, I talk fast. Okay, so with that being said, I do want to bring out, oh, here's some other things that they said. Hold on. Oh, no, we're not going to go over that. That's fine. All right, so you guys have seen, oh, I got so cross in my legs. Okay, so you've seen our house boards before. So this is set up, not really as a senior team because I need it to be aesthetic. So this house I don't really need, but I couldn't have it being all lopsided and not straight, so I added an extra house. So so this is my personal team board. So this is what all of you guys that are here fall under is this. So Liz, you have a little flower pot. So
Yay!
as you add team members, I add flowers to your flower pot because that's how I keep track of where you guys are. And I have a bunch of flower pots that are empty, and that's okay because they might not be ready to grow yet. But you know, as they grow and build their team, they'll get there. And then of course I need to glue some stuff down. We talked about all the perks that you get for promoting to director. And for each of you guys, because you're a personal, I've added you personally to my team, you would fall in my first line. So that's First Street. So when you decide that, okay, I'm totally doing this and I want to promote to director, then your name would be able, I put a little sticky note on the house because that's the one you're going for. You know, okay, Liz is going for a house, or Kathy's going for this house, or, you know, they're green. It's my favorite color. You know what? When you get the house, you tell me which JPEG picture to print and it's going up. We'll change it up for you. Pick your own house. It's all good.
Yeah.
So, so this is the house analogy, just like when you have to qualify for a mortgage, you have to qualify for your house as a director team. And that was our 5,000 and all active in the same month. And it happens. And it'll happen as fast or as slow as you want it to. If you decide, okay, I don't think I'm ready. Don't think, oh my gosh, Christina's gonna hate me. Bobby Lynn's gonna hate me. No, we're not. We're gonna go, okay, still try the program and do as much of it as you can, because if nothing else, you're gonna learn more about the company. You're gonna learn more about what we offer. You're gonna learn more about, oh here, I should probably stand here so they're not just looking at, hey, I'm up here. They can only see the board now. You're gonna learn more about yourself through this process. You might learn that your own self-confidence boosts a little bit because we're going to ask you to get outside of your comfort zone, and that's an okay place to be. So, so that's a little bit. Hello, puppy. So that's a little bit about Director Bound. So again, you guys are welcome to sleep on this if you're ready to say I'm in. Take your book home with you, because then we can go on ahead and you can start reading ahead and knowing what's coming. And then if you're like, oh, let me think about it, you have time. And then we will be doing our first call. Sorry, I know it's the puppy's fault. We will be doing our first call Sunday night, and if you're on that call and you did not take one of these books home with you, then when you come to training on Monday, you can take it with you then. So if you want time to think about it, if you want to go, twist my arm, you know.
But the calls can be viewed after that.
Absolutely. Every single call gets recorded. And so if you can't attend live, let's say you've got a hot date with your hubby and you're like, date's more important. I get that because we don't get a lot of dates. So if I have a date with my hubby, sayonara, Bobby Lynn's leading. Just kidding. We're going to tag team it. But it is something where if you have a conflict, that's okay. If you have a conflict every Sunday, that's not okay. Because it's better when you're live, because that's when you're going to build off that feedback from other people. Because each call moving forward is not going to have just me talking. It's going to have asking question, you answer. Asking question, what do you think? Asking question, you're more involved than me talking or than Bobby Lynn talking. We're going to give ideas, but it's going to be a power session where we're going to be brainstorming together. So that's kind of why it's better to be live if you can. And it's going to be Zoom. It's all going to be on the computer. You can do it from your phone. If you're driving in the car, hubby's driving, you can be Zooming us on your phone. And it's totally fine because I'd rather you be there and hear the information live and at least have it and then be able to still go back and listen to it later. That's what they do a lot for our leadership program is they will, everything's live and then they'll email us, here's the recording if you missed it. So, so that's an option for you as well, but I kind of wanted to just give you guys a breakdown today so you know what the program is, what the expectations are. So if you decide to commit to this program, we are going to ask that you are scheduling 8 parties a month, holding 6, that you are asking people to host parties, that you are asking people to join your team, that you are asking and making those steps and putting into practice what we're teaching. And building on those skills, because the more you build on your skills, the better they're going to get, and the more it's going to become second nature. I know when we're at training, Susie always says I'm the queen of comebacks. You guys heard her say that?
Yeah.
So if someone says they're too busy, I immediately come back with a response for why they could still do this, even if they're too busy. And she goes, I don't know how you do that. And I go, practice. The more you practice what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, the easier it gets for you. Practice your shows. If you don't know how to do a recipe, practice it. If you need help learning and you're not good at talking in front of people, invite your neighbors over and say, hey, I want to practice this recipe on you as if I'm at a show. You'll be surprised how many people will buy products because they're like, oh, I want that. Can I buy that from you? Sure, absolutely. How many people will say, oh my gosh, that was so easy. I could do this. And you're like, you could totally do this. I just booked a random side note. I just booked a spirit night for my son's school for their middle school. If you go there and buy dinner, that give a portion of the proceeds back. Well, the tagline on all my emails is my Pampered Chef stuff with my name and my information. And the manager of the store responds back to my email. We've been talking for 3 weeks getting this thing scheduled. And he goes, so what do you do with Pampered Chef? I would be a great consultant. I have a great resume. What do you need?
That's amazing.
I'm like, well, you know, this is what Pampered Chef is. This is what we offer. This is how it could benefit you. You know, the men in our industry make a killing. Here's some information. Let me know what you think. But if I wasn't just out there saying, this is what I have, this is what I'm doing. It was casual conversation. He brought it up. I was like, oh, here you go. Here's the information. Now, it's not going to do me any good just giving me information, right? What do I need to do next? Follow up. So if I don't hear back from him by tomorrow, probably on Wednesday, I'll go, hey, Daryl, so what do you think of that email? Did you get a chance to check out the website yet? Because the fortune, careful, because the fortune is in the follow-up. You can do all of this work up front, but if you leave it there and you don't go the step further, then you're not going to be successful. So you have to put in the work, follow it up, and know that you can be, boys, I've got like 5 minutes. I've got like 5 minutes left. That's it. Sorry, Supergirl's about to come on and they are panicking, ready to go watch Supergirl. So, I have boys. So anyway, this is one of them.
Hi.
So anyway, so that is the Director Bound program. So hopefully you will go on this 90-day journey with us. We will be done with our program December I know it says 90 days to
18th.
director, but we will be done with our calls December 18th. Technically, your 90th day would be in January. So, but we are just doing calls right up until Christmas. And so then we are going to be offering this every quarter. So if you say, oh my gosh, now is a crazy time, maybe I'm not quite ready yet, let me work on my show schedule first, I would still encourage you, go through it with us these 90 days so you can learn the basics and then be able, if you can't implement everything now, know that when we do the program again, if you're like, all right, I know what I need to do, I'm ready, you'll have a better understanding of what you need to do starting the next one. So we will be starting another one in January and then again in April, and so on and so forth every 3 months. That way we can keep it going because you'll have new people that you're like, oh my gosh, Carrie would be so great at this. Let's get her on board. And then this person would be so great at this. And then they're going to want to have this information too to decide for them if this is something that they want. And so yeah, so we're going to offer it a lot because it's also going to help Bobby Lynn and I to be able to train on it. So repetition helps. Get down. All right, I'm signing off for now. I got crazy kids. So we're going to post all the information. I will post this recording as well, so if you want to watch it later and see how dumb I look, that's fine. Bobby, I hope you had a great show. You need to do better than me next time without this kid. Bye, guys.